What is going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday morning so far. This is MYG Jeffy T 85, and I'm here to talk about the Brooklyn Nets, again, with the reception that they got at their recent Practice at the Park in Tier 2 Brooklyn, down, and it is an annual event where they sold 8,000 tickets to the public, and how the reception they got was not very, very encouraging. Also, the fact the Nets already know about their lack of size right now and that it could become a problem throughout this season because of the fact they don't have a lot of size and they don't have a lot of big men right now on the team to help against some of those bigger teams in the Eastern Conference, as well as who might start at that shooting guard position this year. That's still right now a toss-up between Joe Harris and Royce O'Neal. Now, in terms of the Brooklyn Nets, in terms of what happened at practice, the Nets had their annual Practice at the Park in Tier 2 in downtown Brooklyn, overseeing Lower Manhattan, where the Nets ended up selling about 8,000 tickets to the public to watch their annual event that they have every single year in downtown Brooklyn right before the beginning of the season. And let's just be honest, the Nets did not get a very positive reception coming out of that practice when it came to the fans. The fans still know. So that's the thing right now. The fans still know about all the drama that happened this past offseason. The fans still know that this team has major expectations going into this year. The fans still know that this team was very close to being dismantled this past offseason. So they're not going to give this team a very positive reception, and that's everybody. Steve Nash was booed during this practice. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving got lukewarm reactions because of everything that happened this offseason. Us fans are not stupid. We know everything that happened this past offseason with this team. And the fact that Durant and Irving at that one point could not wait to get the hell out of here, and if it wasn't for other circumstances, that's the reason why the guys are still here, because nobody else wanted to trade for them this past offseason. So the question is, these guys should know about it. Are they going to be able to handle the potential boos that could be happening this season with the fact that this team's expectations are sky high now, and that's everybody. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving caused a lot of offseason negativity from the media, from the pundits out there, from the fan base. Everybody right now is very negative on this Nets team because of the fact of what happened this past offseason, because this team is horribly underachieved since Durant and Irving arrived in Brooklyn back in 2019, 2020. So these guys have got to go out there, and they know the only way to quiet down the noise with all these negativity right now, the fans booing them, etc., is to go out there and win. That's the only way that you could quiet down the negative pundits and everybody out there, is to go out there and win games. If you can do that, the fans will start changing their tune. The media will start changing their tune. Everybody will start changing their tune. And of course, another way that you could start changing your tune is if you guys have a positive outlook on this game, and if you guys go out there and show that you still want to be here, you go out there and give maximum effort, you keep the drama and etc. all the way on the side, and you guys just win. Because winning cures everything. And if this Nets team can keep the noise quiet and they can go out there and they can win basketball games, you know what? This fan base that might have been booing them at the park and might be a little bit negative right now because of the fact that this team right now has been a horribly underachieving team, and the fact that we almost saw our core broken up with all the drama that happened this past offseason. You win, that all changes. That all changes right now. So Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, even Steve Nash, everybody on this Nets team that created all this stir in off-season drama, they have to know that there's going to be boos that are going to be happening if this team does not perform or get off to a fast start this year. So they have to understand that this is going to be part of the norm. That until these guys go out there and they can prove it on the basketball court that this team is serious about this season, this team is focused on this season, this team is ready to go out there and start winning games and get ready to win a championship, everybody right now, the media, the fan base, the reporters, whoever it is, they're all going to be on this team's case because of the failed expectations and because of the off-season nonsense and drama, and that goes with Steve Nash too, this guy has got to be a better coach this year. And I've already said that in multiple other videos, as well as other Net fans have said that. Now, in terms of the Nets, when it comes to their lack of size on the court, the Nets right now don't have a lot of big men. That's for sure. The Nets are a much more wing-oriented basketball team right now. They have a few big men that will make an impact this year. They brought back Nicholas Claxton. They're giving an opportunity to Day'Ron Sharpe. They brought in Markieff Morris. They have Yuta Wannabe. They have some guys on this team that will bring some size and length. Ben Simmons, he's a hybrid player, but he's another guy that can bring length. Obviously, you have Kevin Durant. But this team right now is more of a guard-oriented team. So maybe Nets fans and pundits, as well as media outlets, they're going to look at this Nets team and they're going to see that this team might lack some size right now. They still do. They still lack some size and surefire toughness in the middle of that basketball court when it comes to center position, because right now the Nets are going with two very young players at the center position. As much as we love Nicholas Claxton, he's got to be able to prove that he can handle guys like a Joel Embiid, guys like Robert Williams, these other big-time centers in the NBA. He's got to be able to go out there and handle Bobby Portis. So he's got to be able to go on the basketball court, Johan Valanciunas, Nikolai Vucevic. He's got to be this Nets team has got to be able to show that they can hang with the big boys in terms of their centers and power forwards. How much is Markieff Morris going to have left in his career? He is an older player. He's a grinded-out player. We're all very happy he's here, but how much can Markieff Morris show throughout the entire season with him being an older player and having a lot of tread on those tires? Yuta Wannabe, another young player. What is he going to be able to do with this team at the power forward/small forward position? And obviously Claxton and Sharpe. Are these two young players going to be able to handle the minutes at the center position and be able to handle some of these other high-level centers in the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference? So I'm really curious about that, and I can understand why reporters and why these fans are concerned about the lack of size right now at the power forward and center position for the Brooklyn Nets, and they're afraid that this team might get bullied when it comes to the playoffs against some of these bigger centers out there in the league. So, I mean, I'm sure if the Nets need to, they will go into the around the trade deadline in February, and they will look to try to see if they can add some more bulk and size with some of their wing players on the team and try to add some more size if need be. We'll have to wait and see how guys like Day'Ron Sharpe and how guys like Nicholas Claxton could fare in the season going forward. And in terms of the shooting guard position, just to finish this out, the Brooklyn Nets right now, they have 4 spots that are locked up in the starting lineup. Nicholas Claxton's going to be the center. And obviously, Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, they're going to hold down the point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. The point guard, small forward, power forward position. That shooting guard position right now is the only position that is potentially open up to see who's going to grab it. And right now it sounds like that's either between Royce O'Neal and Joe Harris. Right now, I'm actually thinking this might go to Royce O'Neal because of the fact that Joe Harris is coming back from that serious ankle injury where he had multiple surgeries on that ankle, and because of the fact he's still dealing with soreness right now in that ankle after obviously coming back from multiple surgeries. And Royce O'Neal just might be a better fit in the starting lineup for this team going into the season because of the fact he's that 3 and D guy on the outside, so he can give you that 3-point production from the outside, but he's also going to do something that Joe Harris frankly just can't do, and that's provide excellent wing defense on the outside, which is something the Nets team need. So maybe Joe Harris might be better off being on the second unit going forward, unless he can find a way to get healthy enough. And Steve Nash just thinks that Joe Harris is a better fit for the starting lineup. Right now, I think Royce O'Neal is the better guy to put in the starting lineup for the Brooklyn Nets to begin the season until Joe Harris can get 100% right, and you just see what you can do going forward. So it's a race right now who's going to get that last starting spot on the Nets team at shooting guard. Right now, I think Royce O'Neal is the favorite because of the fact that Harris is dealing with some complications coming back from those multiple ankle surgeries. But we'll have to wait and see for the rest of preseason and training camp who might grab that last starting spot in the starting lineup. So that's just some of the things I want to talk about in this video today, about the fact that the Nets have got to get potentially used to the booing that's going to happen with this team. Obviously, it happened at the Practice at the Park at Tier 2 in Brooklyn near Lower Manhattan with Practice Day, where Steve Nash pretty much got a very negative reception from the fans that were there. The 8,000 plus that were watching this event, he got a negative reaction. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving got a lukewarm reaction. They have to understand this is going to happen when you have a team that had the offseason drama that they did this past offseason, as well as the fact that this team has such high expectations going into this season. The Nets might also need to add some potential size to this team going forward in terms of like getting maybe a power forward and small on another center if Nick Claxton and Deron Sharp can't get the job done completely at that center position, as well as if this team is just really getting bullied still down low near the paint by other centers and power forwards in the league. So that might be something to monitor going into the season as well as going forward if the Nets might make any potential moves towards the trade deadline in February if this team is in fact just lacking right now in terms of their size and depth overall in the front court. And of course, who is going to get that starting shooting guard spot between Joe Harris and Royce O'Neal? I'm right now saying it's going to be Royce O'Neal because Joe Harris is still coming back from injury, but we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen as we wind down the rest of the preseason and the training camp. And just remember, the NBA regular season is about a week away. The NBA regular season is about a week away. So basketball fans, Nets fans, get excited. Nets basketball is just about back. Hype season is almost here. Let's get excited. Let's get lit. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, roster updates, injury updates, as well as chatter surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. Turn on the bell for notifications on when the next video or short is going to be dropping on the channel surrounding the Brooklyn Nets. And let me know in the comment section what you think about the fact that the Nets had as much negative, they had a much negative reception at the Practice at the Park recently for this team and how the Nets are going to be able to handle that. If the Nets might need to add some more size and some more depth in the front court going forward into this season because of the fact that they lack still that size and depth in the front court and they're trusting their faith on a bunch of younger players right now, as well as who you think might get that starting shooting guard job for this Brooklyn Nets team heading into the season, whether it's Joe Harris or whether it's going to be Royce O'Neal. And Seth Curry could be a sleeper, so don't even think about Seth Curry could be a sleeper at that shooting guard position, so you can't even keep him out of the equation. So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday morning, afternoon, and evening. Take it easy, and let's go Brooklyn Nets. As always, it's a Nets world, and we just live in it.